Okay. I tried twice, and the gimbal just wants to do what it wants to do. And I ain't no Steven Spielberg, so I don't have high dollar equipment. But happy Thursday. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thanks for tuning back in. One of my viewers asked how I had plumbed the one-way valve right here into the intake manifold. And when I was doing this, I was thinking high-tech, modern age. I wasn't thinking 1940 through 45. And then all I did was remember how things were fitted back then, and it's just rubber hose with hose clamps. This is a steel line. There's a barbed fitting that goes into this intake manifold, and I just actually copper, not steel. I was able to bend copper a lot more easily, and another rubber hose there, and everything's clamped down tight. I don't have any vacuum leaks. I've started the engine and tested it with ether. You just, engine starting fluid, you just spray it near the openings, and if the engine revs up, then you have a leak. So we're going to take a look at the differences of intake manifolds. Now, this intake manifold is a 2-barrel manifold, and it's meant for an M135 or an M211. 2-barrel intake, meaning the carburetor on it should be a 2-barrel carburetor, which is what's on there. The casting is much different. However, everything still lines up with the exhaust manifold. I think I said in one of my other videos, I had Fenton headers on my first Chevy that had a GM 270, and they made absolutely zero difference in engine performance. And I really think that GMC, General Motors Corporation, hit the nail on the head when they built this exhaust manifold. Okay, so I got the hood for the 41 open, and we're going to go take a look at the intake manifold, which is pretty much the same as the GMC World War II intake manifold. The only difference here is that this looks more tubular rather than flat and narrow, and this portion here is like a mixing chamber for the fuel and air. There is an exhaust port back here, but that's pretty small, and I don't know if this is stock or not, but there's a machined steel plate underneath the governor that this valve was connected to. And see, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to old world, yesterday's thought process. Let me zoom back out a bit here. This rubber hose goes up over the dash. You can see it there at the top, and it goes down to the Hydravac. I mean, these things didn't need a whole lot of vacuum to operate the Hydravac brake booster. And so here's the proportioning valve again, and of course our little winged stinging friends made a home in there, so that has to be cleaned out. So it just needed a vacuum port. I believe, and it's been a long time since I've worked on a GM 270 World War II engine that is stock. I believe vacuum port is right about here. So, and then this guy was talking about having the proportioning valve or the vacuum valve mounted directly to the intake manifold. So Chevys had many differences opposed to, you know, in comparison with the GM270. So I haven't started either truck in a couple of weeks, so we're gonna start the Chevy, and I'm probably gonna go for a ride. So we'll do a cold start and see what happens. Be right back. Alright, so she's running. It's only been about 3 or 4 minutes. I primed it a little bit, poured some gasoline down on top of the air cleaner right here so it dribbled down into the carburetor, and fired up and ran momentarily 3 times, and then the 4th time she kicked in. The last time I filled the fuel tank was in October of 2020, and I doubt you can see down in there, but the fuel level is like right about here. I thought that I had used more than 30 gallons. She only took about 17. Now, that just goes to show you how undercarbureted this engine is, because I've run this a lot and haven't put any fuel in it, as opposed to this gas hog Rochester 2. Man, I'll run that engine for probably half an hour, 45 minutes, and my little fender can is 5 liters, which is a little over a gallon, will be drained almost 3/4 of the way. So anyway, I'm going to button up the side cover. Fer Schreur. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your YouTube handle, but there's the video, and that you asked for. I don't know how any other way to help you out, bud. But yep, rubber hose, copper line, barbed fitting, hose clamps, one-way valve, steel line down to the Hydravac, and back down to the Hydravac again. I have rubber hoses and stuff joining everything together. It makes a flexible joint, so nothing breaks or tears. And there we go. All right, thanks for watching my video. You guys have a great Christmas. Later.